In the heart of a picturesque town, where history whispered through the cobblestone streets and the scent of freshly baked bread wafted from charming cafes, a young boy embarked on a journey that would leave an indelible mark on his innocent soul. Hand in hand with his mother, his wide eyes sparkled with curiosity as they approached a quaint little candy shop nestled amidst the colorful tapestry of the marketplace. The shopkeeper, a kindly old man named Mr. Thompson, with a twinkle in his eye and a white apron dusted with powdered sugar, noticed the small, cherubic child. He reached behind the glass counter adorned with glass jars filled with candies of all colors and shapes. Mr. Thompson's hands were steady, a testament to the countless years he had spent serving the sweet-toothed folks of the town. He retrieved a bottle, an heirloom of sorts, with a history as rich as the candies it held. The bottle, made of delicate crystal, had been passed down through generations of shopkeepers in the Thompson family. It was filled to the brim with glistening sweets, each one a tiny masterpiece of flavor and artistry. He smiled warmly and extended the bottle towards the child. "Dear child," he said, his voice as sweet as the confections he offered, "you can take these sweets." The boy's gaze fell upon the bottle, his eyes wide with wonder at the treasures within. His mother, standing beside him, encouraged him with a gentle nod. "Go ahead, dear," she whispered softly, her voice as melodious as a lullaby. "Take the sweets." But to Mr. Thompson's surprise, the child did not reach out to grasp the offered delight. The old man's brow furrowed, his curiosity piqued. Why, he wondered, did such a small child refuse the simple pleasure of a handful of sweets? He decided to make one more attempt, this time urging the child with even greater enthusiasm. "Please, dear child," he implored, his eyes twinkling with a grandfatherly affection, "take the sweets." Yet once again the child hesitated, his tiny fingers not reaching for the sugary treasures that beckoned from the bottle. The mother, puzzled now, joined her plea with the shopkeepers. "Take the sweets, dear," she urged her child, her voice filled with maternal tenderness, like the softest of blankets on a chilly night. Still, the child did not budge. He gazed at the sweets, his eyes filled with longing, but his hands remained by his side. Mr. Thompson, his heart brimming with curiosity and compassion, could no longer contain himself. With a kind smile that crinkled the corners of his eyes like well-worn parchment, he took the bottle and began to pour the sweets into the child's eager hands. The child's face lit up with pure joy as the candies tumbled into his palms like raindrops of happiness. His eyes danced with delight, and his laughter echoed through the quaint shop, mingling with the melodic chime of the bell above the door. Two small hands were filled to the brim with the sugary treasures, and the boy couldn't have been happier. As the mother and child made their way home, she couldn't help but wonder about her child's peculiar behavior. Turning to him with a loving smile that radiated warmth, she asked, "My dear, why didn't you take the sweets when the shopkeeper offered them to you?" The child, with wisdom beyond his years, looked up at his mother and replied, his innocent voice carrying a profound truth. "Mom, my hands are very small, and if I had taken the sweets, I could only have held a few. But when Uncle gave them with his big hands, see how many more I received." In that simple response, the child's words held a lesson that touched the very core of his mother's heart. And as they continued their journey home, the mother reflected on the profound wisdom her child had unknowingly shared. The moral of this heartwarming tale is a reminder to us all. Sometimes in life we hesitate to accept the small blessings that come our way, fearing that they are too insignificant. Yet when we open ourselves up to receive, when we trust in the generosity of the universe, we may find that the gifts we receive exceed our wildest dreams. Just as the child received more sweets than he could have held on his own, so too can we receive more love, happiness, and abundance than we ever imagined when we open our hearts to the goodness of the world. It is a lesson in gratitude, trust, and the boundless generosity of life itself. So, my dear reader, let us remember the wisdom of that small child and the kind-hearted shopkeeper. Let us learn to embrace the blessings that come our way, no matter how small they may seem. For in doing so, we open ourselves up to the limitless gifts that life has to offer. And in the end, we may find that our hands, like the child's, are filled to overflowing with the sweetness of life's abundant treasures. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the story of the young boy and the candy shop became a cherished tale in the town. It was recounted in hushed tones at family gatherings and discussed with laughter and wonder in the bustling town square. People from near and far came to visit Mr. Thompson's shop, not only for the delectable candies, but also for the chance to witness the magic that seemed to emanate from the old crystal bottle. They watched with bated breath as children approached the counter, their eyes wide with anticipation, and they marveled as each child's face transformed into one of sheer delight when Mr. Thompson poured the sweets into their small hands. But the story didn't end at the candy shop's doorstep. It spread like wildfire through the town, touching hearts and sparking conversations about the profound wisdom of a child and the kindness of a shopkeeper. Parents began to tell their children the tale of the boy in the candy shop before bedtime, emphasizing the importance of gratitude and the beauty of embracing life's gifts, no matter how small. It became a tradition, a way to pass down the values that had been illuminated by that simple, heartwarming moment. As the seasons changed and the town was blanketed in a tapestry of autumn leaves and then a soft carpet of winter snow, the story continued to evolve. People began to visit the candy shop not just for sweets, but also to soak in the atmosphere of warmth and generosity that permeated the small space. Children grew up hearing the story and, in turn, shared it with their own children. It became an integral part of the town's identity, a symbol of the values that bound the community together. In a world where cynicism often cast its shadow, the story of the boy in the candy shop served as a beacon of hope. It reminded people that kindness, simplicity, and the joy of giving were timeless virtues that could bridge generations and bring a touch of magic to everyday life. The shopkeeper, Mr. Thompson, continued to pour sweets into the hands of countless children, his heart swelling with the knowledge that he was not just a purveyor of candies, but a purveyor of joy and life lessons. As the years passed, Mr. Thompson grew older, and the weight of time began to show on his shoulders. The town's children, who had once been wide-eyed with wonder, were now adults with children of their own. And it was one such day when Mr. Thompson's hands trembled ever so slightly as he poured candies into a child's outstretched palms that a gentle voice spoke up. It was the same boy, now a man, who had first taught the town the profound lesson of the candy shop. He had returned, this time with a child of his own, a small girl with pigtails and a smile as bright as the morning sun. The man approached Mr. Thompson with a nostalgic twinkle in his eye and a heart full of gratitude. "Mr. Thompson," he began, "do you remember me?" The old shopkeeper, who had seen countless faces over the years, squinted his eyes for a moment before a warm smile broke across his face. "Ah, yes," he replied, his voice filled with affection. "You're the young lad who taught us all a lesson about life's sweetness." The man nodded, his eyes glistening with emotion. "I am indeed," he said, "and I've brought my daughter here today to experience the same magic that I did as a child." Mr. Thompson's heart swelled with pride and joy as he filled the small girl's hands with candies. Her laughter filled the shop, just as her father's had done many years ago. And as he watched the two of them leave the shop, hand in hand, he knew that the legacy of the candy shop would continue to live on. Years turned into decades, and the tale of the boy in the candy shop became a legend in the town. People spoke of it with reverence, and it was woven into the very fabric of their lives. It was a story of kindness, of gratitude, and of the beauty that could be found in the simplest of moments. But the story didn't end there. It continued to spread, touching the lives of people far beyond the town's borders. It was shared in books, told on television, and celebrated in art. The world embraced the timeless wisdom of the boy in the candy shop, and it became a symbol of hope and inspiration for people everywhere. As the town grew and changed, the candy shop remained a constant, a place where time seemed to stand still. Mr. Thompson's hair turned silver, and his hands grew more weathered, but his heart remained as warm as ever. The shop continued to attract visitors from all walks of life, each one eager to experience the magic that had captivated generations. And so, the story of the boy and the candy shop lived on, not just in the hearts of the town's people, but in the hearts of people everywhere who had been touched by its message. It was a story of the power of kindness, the beauty of gratitude, and the magic of embracing life's gifts, no matter how small. In a world that often seemed chaotic and uncertain, the story of the boy and the candy shop served as a reminder that there was still goodness and wonder to be found in the simplest of moments. It was a testament to the enduring power of love, joy, and the generosity of the human spirit. And so, my dear reader, as you ponder the tale of the boy and the candy shop, I hope you carry its message with you in your own life. I hope you remember the wisdom of the child who knew that sometimes, by opening our hearts and embracing life's gifts, we can receive more than we ever imagined. May you find sweetness in every moment, joy in every smile, and the magic of life's treasures in the most unexpected places. And may you always remember that, like the boy with the small hands and the candy shop that touched a town's heart, your capacity to give and receive love is boundless and timeless.